Good morning, Year 2. Miss Harry's back for maths again. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's activity looking at equal parts. Now we're going to move on today and we're actually going to name some fractions. Now before we start, we're going to learn some big words. Now you can probably remember these if you were in school the week before we close. So when you see a fraction, it will look like this, and we read this fraction as a half. Okay, there is a number at the top, which is 1, a number at the bottom, which is 2. Now, the number at the top is called the numerator. Now, in my class, we used to go, the numerator, because it is the smaller one. And the numerator is how many equal parts I have. And the one at the bottom, which is the most important one, is the denominator, the big one. How many equal parts make my whole? Now, we can use this to help us with our writing of fractions, along with the STEM sentence, which I will say repeatedly throughout this lesson. I'm actually going to write it up again in a minute. Okay, so if you can pause this screen now and write down this information, that would be awesome. Okay, so I'm going to write down the STEM sentence from yesterday, and it is, yeah, you can see it, equal parts make my whole. Now this part of the STEM sentence you learnt yesterday describes the denominator. Okay, so this is the denominator. We're going to extend it further today by saying I have of those equal parts. And this second sentence here describes the numerator. So I'm actually going to underline this part of the STEM sentence in black. And I'm going to underline this part of the STEM sentence in red. Okay? And I'm going to show you now how these things work together. So I've told you this is a half, this is a numerator, this is denominator. The denominator is how many equal parts make my whole, and the numerator is how many equal parts I have. Okay, so I can read this fraction by thinking about what this number means and what this number means. Okay, so the bottom one is how many equal parts make my whole. Okay, so we're going to read it together. So my turn first. 2 equal parts make my whole. I have 1 of those equal parts. Okay, that part of the STEM sentence describes a half, and here I'm going to draw it. So I'm going to say it again. 2 equal parts make my whole. Okay, here we go. And I have 1 of those equal parts. It would look like this. This is a half, okay? So you are going to use this throughout this lesson, because this lesson we are going to be looking at halves. Okay, so I'm going to say the STEM sentence again for a half. Are we ready? After 3, 1, 2, 3. 2 equal parts make my whole. I have 1 of those equal parts. Okay, and again, 2 equal parts make my whole. I have 1 of those equal parts. I have a half. Okay, so keep going back to this all of the time and it will help you. Okay, so today we are going to be looking at halves. 2 equal parts make my whole. I have 1 of those equal parts. Okay, right, what we're going to do then, I'm going to show you some shapes, and I would like you to give them a tick, just like yesterday, if you think yes, they do show a half, and a big cross if you think no, they do not show a half. If you want to be super clever, you might want to write a little explanation about why they are a half or why they're not a half, thinking about equal parts. This is challenge number 1. You have got 3 challenges today. As always, it's up to you how many you do, but at least challenge number 1, please. So my question is to you, do these show a half? Okay, so all the way through, I want you to think about the STEM sentence. 2 equal parts make my whole. I have 1 of those equal parts. Is that true about these shapes? So first one here. 2 equal parts make my whole. I have 1 of those equal parts. If you think yes, that's true, give it a tick. If you think it's not true, you put a cross. In your textbook, you can just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, the next one. 2 equal parts make my whole. I have one of those equal parts. Do you think that's true? Give it a tick or a cross. Okay, all the way to question 9. That is challenge number 1. So if you'd like to pause the screen now. Okay, so challenge number 2, you are going to need your magic finger. So once your magic fingers, this is going to be your half finger. And you are going to see some shapes in a moment. And with your magic finger, you are going to touch the shape where you think the halfway mark point is. So you can see this star behind me resting on my extractor. I would put my finger down the middle to show half. Okay, so I'm going to show you some shapes. Pause the screen as much as you need to, but I want to see those magic fingers going. Your magic finger. Oh, is it here? Would that be 2 equal parts make the whole? Next shape. Remember, you can pause it. Okay, that is challenge number 2. Challenge number 3, I've done circles on purpose because you can draw this out into your workbook, and what I like to do is circle half of the amount. So let's pretend these are sweets and you are sharing them with me. Can you put a circle around the amount I would get if you were splitting them in half? Okay, well done guys, all really proud of you, keep it up, and I'll see you tomorrow.